The United States Navy reveals the closest thing yet to a magic carpet.
Throughout history, there have been remarkable individuals who have dared to challenge the boundaries of conventional thinking.
We now can use water as a fuel source because water is a very free and abundant fuel source. So we've designed the technology to be very flexible to use every segment of the economy and do it very quickly.
Only to be met with resistance, ridicule, and even persecution. From the invention of hemp body car, which uses hemp fibers that got sidelined, to cancer-free cigarette invention that got prosecuted. These inventors have faced immense obstacles in their quest to bring about a new era of scientific understanding.
Holding the control handles. The one in his right hand he'll use for his throttle and the left hand to guide the...
But why are these technologies considered so dangerous? What is it about them that threatens the established order? Join us as we explore the world of these forbidden technologies and the silencing of their inventors, and uncover the secrets that have been hidden from the public eye for far too long. The hemp body car. In the 1940s, during the chaos of World War II and the booming industrial era, Henry Ford embarked on a revolutionary project that broke away from the car-making norms of his time. Known for his inventive mind and the groundbreaking assembly line production of the Model T, Ford turned his focus towards environmental sustainability long before it became a worldwide concern. Ford envisioned a car that wasn't just powered by biomass fuel, but was also made from it, with hemp being the main material. They called it the Ford 420. How could the police stop you for having drugs if your car was entirely made out of it? This bold initiative, although pioneering, was overshadowed by the rapidly growing petroleum industry, which was making a massive global impact. Ford's interest in renewable resources and sustainable materials wasn't a sudden revelation. He had long championed the integration of agriculture with industry, believing that farms could be a crucial source of raw materials for manufacturing. The concept of the hemp car was a direct result of this belief, highlighting Ford's dedication to exploring alternative materials and fuels. The car's body was made from a composite material that included hemp fibers. When these fibers were combined with other plant materials, they created a product that was lightweight, durable, and biodegradable. This innovative material was not only eco-friendly, but also boasted a tensile strength said to be 10 times that of steel, offering significant safety benefits along with its environmental advantages. The hemp car, introduced by Henry Ford, was designed to run on hemp biofuel made from cannabis seeds. This choice was part of Ford's visionary plan to move away from non-renewable energy sources. Hemp biofuel offered a sustainable, clean-burning alternative to gasoline, promising fewer harmful emissions and greater energy independence. The public debut of the hemp car in 1941 was a major event. Ford demonstrated the car's impressive durability by hitting it with a sledgehammer, and the body withstood the blows without any damage. This showcased the strength and resilience of the hemp-based material. Despite its innovative features and environmental benefits, the hemp car project didn't move beyond its initial showcase. Several factors contributed to this. At that time, the petroleum industry was rapidly expanding and becoming essential to the global economy. This growth made it difficult for alternative fuels and materials, like Ford's hemp biofuel, to gain acceptance. The powerful economic and political influence of the oil industry posed significant challenges. The strategic importance of petroleum meant that projects like the hemp car were often pushed aside. Additionally, the legal and cultural context of the era added to the hurdles. Hemp cultivation was increasingly restricted due to its association with psychoactive cannabis strains. Moreover, the outbreak of World War II shifted industrial priorities, further sidelining Ford's project. As a result, the hemp car, despite its potential to revolutionize the automotive industry with sustainable practices, was largely forgotten. The radiant energy device. In the early 1900s, Dr. Thomas Henry Moray from Salt Lake City invented a groundbreaking device that could harness energy from the oscillations of empty space, known as the meta-frequency. Moray eventually developed a free energy gadget that weighed 60 pounds and generated an impressive 50,000 watts of electricity for several hours. Despite frequently demonstrating his device to scientists and engineers, Moray struggled to secure funding to develop it into a large-scale power station before World War II. Moray briefly collaborated with the Rural Electrification Administration, REA, to advance his machine. At that time, the REA was reportedly infiltrated by communist sympathizers and high-ranking officials with pro-Soviet leanings. These officials pressured Moray to share all the details of his invention with the Soviet Union, and even arranged for prominent Soviet scientists to visit his laboratory to observe the device in action. Over 2 months, these Soviet scientists gained Moray's trust, and he eventually disclosed most of the secrets behind his special valve to one of them. This scientist, the only person Moray had ever fully confided in, is believed to have been a Soviet operative. There is considerable evidence suggesting that this individual was responsible for transmitting the knowledge of Moray's technology to the Soviet Union. This exchange is thought to have given the Soviets the foundational ideas for constructing hyperspace amplifiers, which they later used in their psychotronic weapons. To his surprise, Patent Office never granted him his application for this invention: water-powered car. In the 1980s, Stanley Meyer claimed to have made this incredible technology a reality. He developed what he called the water fuel cell, which he said could split water into hydrogen and oxygen using a method called high-voltage electrolysis. This method was far more efficient than standard electrolysis techniques. Meyer's water fuel cell wasn't just a wild claim. He demonstrated it with a converted dune buggy, which he said could travel across the United States on just 83 gallons, which is about 314 liters of water. The implications of such technology were enormous. It promised a future free from oil dependency, potentially shaking up the multi-trillion-dollar global oil industry. However, Stanley Meyer's groundbreaking innovation came to an abrupt and mysterious end in 1998. After dining with potential Belgian investors, Meyer suddenly ran outside, clutching his chest, and died shortly thereafter. The official cause of death was ruled a cerebral aneurysm, but suspicions of foul play and poisoning have persisted. Many believe that the high stakes surrounding his invention and the potential to disrupt the global oil industry may have led to foul play. Cavity structural effect. Viktor Grebennikov was a self-taught entomologist from Russia with a deep fascination for the natural world, especially insects. He believed these tiny creatures held secrets to extraordinary powers, including anti-gravity. His journey into the unknown began with the cavity structural effect, CSE, a concept he developed from closely observing bee nests and insect behavior. In the early 1980s, Grebennikov was camping in the vast Siberian steppe when he had a life-changing experience. While lying on the ground, he felt a strange sensation and realized he was atop an underground bee city. He experienced headaches, ringing in his ears, and a metallic taste in his mouth, which sparked his curiosity about the natural structures around him. Intrigued, he collected parts of the bee nest and began experimenting. Grebennikov noticed an unusual heat emanation from the honeycomb structures, a sensation that conventional scientific instruments couldn't detect or measure. This led him to theorize about a force field generated by the geometric configuration of the honeycombs, capable of influencing the environment in ways not understood by science. His investigations took a significant turn when he examined insect chitin shells under a microscope. He discovered an unusually rhythmic, extremely ordered structure that seemed to defy gravity. When he placed 2 of these chitin plates together, one plate hovered in the air for a few seconds before aligning with the other. This was his first step toward understanding the anti-gravitational properties of certain natural structures. Convinced of the potential of his discovery, Grebennikov embarked on a project to harness the cavity structural effect for human use. Viktor Grebennikov built an extraordinary platform with thousands of chitin shells attached to its underside, which he claimed was an anti-gravity vehicle. According to Grebennikov, this amazing contraption could travel at speeds up to 1,500 kilometers per hour and reach heights of 300 meters. Even more astonishingly, it supposedly made the rider invisible from below and surrounded them in a bubble-like force field that nullified inertia and dynamic pressure. Despite these incredible claims and the profound implications of his work, Grebennikov faced intense skepticism and rejection from the scientific community. In 1992, after his patent application was denied, Grebennikov tried to share his groundbreaking work through a book. He intended this book to detail his discovery, outlining the principles and mechanisms behind his invention, and included a wealth of full-color images and possibly photographs from a museum demonstration of his device. However, just before its release, the publishers, possibly influenced by external pressures, significantly altered the book. They removed hundreds of images and all the schematic details crucial for understanding Grebenikov's work. This raises an intriguing question. Why was Grebennikov, already facing skepticism from his peers, subjected to further efforts that seemed to undermine the evidence of his invention? A longtime colleague of Grebennikov suggested that he was part of a so-called scientific underground, which faced opposition and perhaps even persecution from the established scientific community and government bodies. This suggests that Grebennikov's discovery was more profound and potentially disruptive than initially thought. Perhaps his work touched upon a force or technology so significant that it was deemed too dangerous or too powerful to be allowed into the public domain, prompting efforts to bury his findings and silence the discussion around them. General Motors EV1. The General Motors EV1, often known simply as the GM EV1, was a groundbreaking battery electric vehicle manufactured by the American automaker General Motors. Produced from 1996 until its unfortunate demise in 1999, the EV1 program officially ended 4 years later in 2003. This subcompact car was notable for being the first mass-produced, purpose-built battery electric vehicle. The EV1's journey began in 1990 with the introduction of the Impact prototype, which heavily influenced the design of the actual EV1. That same year, the California Air Resources Board issued a mandate requiring the 7 largest automakers in the U.S. to produce and sell zero-emission vehicles to maintain access to the California market. Mass production of the EV1 began in 1996, with most vehicles initially leased to customers in California, Arizona, and Georgia. Within a year, leasing programs expanded to several other states. In 1998, General Motors introduced several modifications to the EV1, including a series hybrid, a parallel hybrid, a compressed natural gas variation, and a 4-wheel model, all serving as prototypes for potential future models. Despite receiving positive feedback from customers who loved the EV1, General Motors decided that electric vehicles were an unproductive niche in the automotive industry. In a move that sparked controversy, the company crushed most of the EV1 cars and officially ended the program in 2001, despite protests from passionate customers. GEET fuel processor. Paul Panton. Paul Panton was an inventor who made bold claims about turning waste into energy with his revolutionary GEET, Global Environmental Energy Technology, fuel processor, developed in the 1990s. This device promised a significant leap in energy efficiency by transforming a mix of 80% water and 20% fuel into a clean-burning plasma gas. Panton asserted that his technology could power engines using only a fraction of the typical fuel and dramatically reduce emissions, potentially decreasing our reliance on conventional fossil fuels. The GEET fuel processor worked on what Panton called plasma technology. According to him, it used a reaction chamber where vapors from a fuel-water mix were transformed into plasma, which could then power internal combustion engines. Intriguingly, Panton suggested that his system could run on a variety of fuel sources, including used motor oil, old paint, and even coffee. This presented an exciting prospect for drastically reducing waste. However, Panton's journey was filled with challenges. Despite demonstrating his invention at various showcases, he faced rampant skepticism from the scientific community. His situation worsened when legal issues and claims of fraud emerged. Eventually, Panton was committed to a mental institution, a move that many of his supporters viewed as an attempt to suppress and discredit his technology. The perpetual motion. Victor Schauberger, an Austrian forester, naturalist, and inventor, dedicated much of his life to studying water flow dynamics and natural energy. Born in 1885, Schauberger's keen observations of nature led him to develop unique theories and inventions that many later linked to the concept of perpetual motion, a machine or system that could theoretically operate indefinitely without an external energy source. However, Schauberger never claimed to have created perpetual motion machines. Instead, he focused on harnessing the Earth's natural power, particularly the energy found in water vortices, for beneficial purposes. Schauberger's approach was deeply rooted in his observations of the natural world. He believed modern technology and engineering often ignored the harmonious principles inherent in natural systems, which, if understood and replicated, could lead to energy generation without environmental damage. His famous saying, "Understand nature, then copy nature," encapsulates his philosophy. Schauberger proposed that water, when allowed to flow in a vortex, could generate its own energy through implosion, a concept contrary to the explosion-based technologies like combustion engines that dominate human technology. One of Schauberger's most significant contributions was his research into vortex dynamics. He noticed that water in rivers and streams naturally follows a meandering spiral path, which he believed was crucial for maintaining the water's vitality and energy. By imitating these natural patterns, Schauberger invented several devices aimed at producing energy or propulsion. One such invention was the repulsine, a saucer-shaped machine designed to generate propulsion through specially designed wave-like patterns that created a vortex of air or water. This invention captivated many and led to speculation that Schauberger had discovered the secrets of perpetual motion and free energy. Schauberger's work did not go unnoticed by the Nazi regime during World War II. Reports suggest that he was coerced into developing his inventions for military purposes, an experience that left him disillusioned and wary of potential misuse of his discoveries. After the war, Schauberger continued his research, but his inventions never gained the commercial success or scientific recognition he had hoped for. The controversy surrounding Schauberger's work intensified when he was taken into custody by U.S. intelligence agents and held for 9 months. During this time, all his documents and prototypes were confiscated, and he was interrogated about his inventions and wartime activities. This episode has fueled speculation that Schauberger's innovations in harnessing natural energies were considered so potentially disruptive that they were suppressed by the U.S. government to protect the established scientific, economic, and political order. Project XA. The story of Dr. James D. Mould and his cancer-free cigarette should outrage every smoker and anyone who has lost a loved one to tobacco smoking. While rumors have long circulated about tobacco companies being dishonest about the health risks of smoking, the revelations of Mould's groundbreaking work and its subsequent neglect highlight the industry's greed. Dr. Mould embarked on a pioneering effort to develop a cigarette that wouldn't cause cancer, a project known as Project XA. With initial support from Liggett and Myers, Mould tirelessly collaborated with the A.D. Little Company on this ambitious task. After 25 years of relentless work, Mould invented the XA or palladium cigarette, which used palladium and magnesium nitrate to eliminate cancer-causing chemicals in cigarette smoke. Lab tests showed these cigarettes effectively reduced cancer incidence in lab animals. Despite initial enthusiasm from the company, executives abruptly withdrew their support for the project, and the palladium cigarette never reached production. The fundamental reason was simple and infuriating. The company's lawyers warned that introducing a safer product would lead to endless lawsuits from the public for their previously marketed less safe products. This decision underscores the lengths to which the tobacco industry would go to protect its profits, even at the expense of public health. Ogle carburetor. In 1977, Tom Ogle, a 24-year-old from El Paso, Texas, claimed to have invented a revolutionary carburetor that could vastly improve fuel efficiency in cars. Unlike conventional carburetors or fuel pumps, Ogle's system vaporized gasoline from the tank before injecting it into the engine. This innovative design promised an astonishing leap from about 13 miles per gallon to over 100 miles per gallon. The potential impact of such technology was immense, capable of reshaping national oil demands, economies, and geopolitical dynamics dependent on oil. Ogle's invention quickly caught the attention of the media, big oil companies, and the auto industry. As his invention gained prominence, Ogle's life took a troubling turn. After reportedly refusing lucrative offers from major companies looking to buy and possibly suppress his patent, Ogle claimed he faced harassment and threats. Suddenly, his financial backing disappeared, and promising deals evaporated. Tragically, in 1981, just a few years after his groundbreaking invention, Tom Ogle died under mysterious circumstances. Officially, his death was attributed to a combination of alcohol and an overdose of the painkiller Darvon. However, those close to him and numerous conspiracy theorists suggest foul play, believing his demise was orchestrated to suppress his invention. No prototype of the Ogle carburetor has ever been publicly verified, fueling further speculation and mystery. Despite extensive media coverage during its development, the technology seemingly vanished, much like its inventor. the Wasp X-Jet. The quest for innovative vertical takeoff and landing. VTOL Systems has produced numerous experimental designs, one of the most captivating being the Williams X-Jet. Developed by Williams International, a company renowned for its expertise in turbofan technology. The X-Jet emerged as a pioneering VTOL system, also known as the Williams Aerial Systems Platform, WASP. This compact and lightweight aircraft was powered by a turbofan engine, showcasing a unique blend of simplicity and advanced engineering that distinguished it from other VTOL concepts of its era. Designed to carry a single operator, the X-Jet featured an intuitive control mechanism. The operator could control the aircraft by simply leaning in the desired direction and adjusting the power. This straightforward yet innovative control system, combined with the X-Jet's agility, enabled it to move in any direction, accelerate rapidly, hover, and rotate on its axis. The aircraft could stay aloft for up to 45 minutes and reach speeds of up to 60 miles per hour, making it an exceptional vehicle for personal transportation. Despite its groundbreaking design and capabilities, the Williams X-Jet faced significant challenges. In the 1980s, the U.S. Army evaluated the X-Jet as part of its exploration of new VTOL technologies. The military was interested in such systems for their potential to enhance mobility and flexibility on the battlefield, surpassing the capabilities of conventional helicopters and fixed-wing aircraft. The X-Jet presented an intriguing option for individual soldier mobility. However, after thorough evaluation, the U.S. Army concluded that the Williams X-Jet, despite its innovation, was inferior to the capabilities provided by helicopters and small unmanned aircraft. This decision was based on several factors, including the X-Jet's limited range and payload capacity compared to helicopters, and the rapidly advancing technology of unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, which offered greater versatility without risking a pilot's life. Additionally, the operational complexities and training requirements for safely piloting the X-Jet presented logistical challenges for its integration into military operations. While the technology wasn't suppressed and could have been a significant improvement in people's daily lives, it wasn't utilized widely due to its high cost and relative difficulty to fly. The exploration of VTOL technology continues to evolve, with new designs and concepts emerging that build upon the foundational work of projects like the Williams X-Jet. Nikola Tesla's wireless energy transmission. By 1900, Nikola Tesla was widely considered America's best electrical engineer, captivating the world with his groundbreaking innovations and triumph over Thomas Edison in the Battle of Currents. Tesla then embarked on his most ambitious project yet, the Wardenclyffe Transmission Tower. Built between 1901 and 1905, this facility was based on another of Tesla's revolutionary concepts. He aimed to use the tower to achieve what had previously been deemed impossible: a global wireless communication system. The Wardenclyffe Tower was intended to be the prototype for a system that would use the Earth itself as a conductor. Tesla envisioned broadcasting music, news, stock market reports, secure military communications, and even facsimile images around the world, all wirelessly. This visionary attempt to create a telecommunications infrastructure was comparable to what the internet provides today, but entirely without wires. Tesla's vision for the Wardenclyffe Tower extended even further. Having already demonstrated that high-frequency signals could be transmitted wirelessly with his Tesla coil transformers, he became obsessed with the idea of wireless energy transmission. However, Tesla's lofty ambitions for Wardenclyffe exceeded his financial resources and the patience of his sponsors. The project fell into financial difficulties before it could be completed. Despite its potential, the unfinished tower was dismantled in 1917 to satisfy Tesla's financial obligations. What was once a cutting-edge laboratory brimming with Tesla's incredible innovations became a desolate memorial to his most ambitious idea. Now it's time for today's subscriber pick. In the heart of Silicon Valley, in a sleek, ultra-modern laboratory filled with the hum of cutting-edge technology, Dr. Alex Carter is hunched over his workbench. Alex was the epitome of the brilliant, driven scientist. Interestingly, thousands of miles away, in a centuries-old castle converted into a state-of-the-art research facility in the Swiss Alps, Dr. Eliza von Braun was equally busy at work, adjusting her magnifying glasses and carefully soldering a microscopic component. Unknown to each other, both scientists were on the verge of creating something that would change the world forever. Their inventions, though different in form and function, were two halves of a whole, destined to intersect in ways that neither could have anticipated. Alex's project, dubbed Project Elysium, was a revolutionary quantum communication device. Unlike anything ever seen before, it was designed to enable instantaneous, unhackable communication across any distance. Eliza's creation, known as the chronosphere, was equally groundbreaking. It was a device capable of manipulating time at a local level, creating bubbles where time could be slowed down or sped up. Both experts are now intent on collaborating to create one of the greatest technological inventions ever. How massive do you think their invention will be? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Cold fusion. The dream of Dr. Eugene Mallove, an MIT-trained scientist and chief science writer at his alma mater, was always to imagine a world where clean, almost limitless energy is within our reach. He was a passionate advocate for cold fusion, a type of energy production that promised to change the world's energy landscape forever. In 1989, the scientific community was shaken when electrochemists Martin Fleischmann and Stanley Meyer announced they had achieved nuclear fusion at room temperature. Unlike traditional fusion, which requires incredibly high temperatures and pressures, cold fusion could potentially provide an enormous source of cheap and environmentally friendly energy. Despite the initial excitement, other scientists couldn't replicate their results, leading to widespread skepticism and the dismissal of cold fusion as pseudoscience. Eugene Mallove, however, refused to give up. He accused the mainstream scientific community, including researchers at MIT, of manipulating experimental data to suppress positive cold fusion results. Mallove's bold accusations and his resignation from MIT in protest against what he saw as unethical behavior brought significant attention to what he believed was a major scientific injustice. Tragically, in 2004, Mallove's life was cut short when he was murdered while cleaning out his rental property. The mysterious circumstances of his death have fueled speculation and conspiracy theories about the lengths to which opponents of cold fusion might go to silence its proponents. The Hendershot generator. In the late 1920s, Lester Hendershot, an inventive American, claimed to have developed a groundbreaking device known as the Hendershot generator. This remarkable invention was said to generate free energy by harnessing the Earth's magnetic field, producing electricity without needing fuel. The Hendershot generator promised to revolutionize the energy landscape, offering an unlimited power source that could render traditional energy sources obsolete. Hendershot's device was described as a self-running generator, using a series of coils and capacitors to create energy without any external power source. His demonstrations in the late 1920s reportedly showed the generator powering light bulbs and motors, capturing the public's imagination and attracting media attention and potential investors. Despite the initial excitement, a strong campaign to discredit his technology began. Some detractors went as far as publicly demonstrating a device they claimed was Hendershot's to prove its ineffectiveness. This act of discreditation signaled to Hendershot's supporters that there were concerted efforts to undermine his work. Undeterred, Hendershot continued to develop his free energy generator for many years. By the late 1960s, he believed he had a breakthrough that would interest the US Navy. He prepared 2 models and a detailed 56-page proposal. However, his proposal was denied. In April 1961, Hendershot's son found his father dead upon returning from school. Officially recorded as a suicide, the lack of a thorough investigation led many, including his family, to suspect foul play. They theorized that his innovative work posed a significant threat to large energy corporations. Rumors circulated that Hendershot had been warned by a major corporation, which he declined to name, to cease all work related to his generator. This underlined the potential disruption his invention could cause to their lucrative business. Allegedly, Hendershot accepted $25,000 on the condition he halted his research for 2 decades. He had expressed fears for his safety to his family, indicating the gravity of the threats he faced. Hendershot's death and the suppression of his invention continued to provoke deep questions, stirring speculation about the lengths to which powerful entities might go to protect their interests. Royal Raymond Rife cancer cure. Royal Raymond Rife was an inventive American who pioneered high-magnification time-lapse cinematography. He is best known for his microscopes, which he claimed could examine live microorganisms at magnifications previously thought impossible. Rife also developed the oscillating beam ray, which he said could treat various diseases by using radio waves to destroy harmful organisms. Despite working with scientists, doctors, and inventors of his time, and having his findings published in newspapers and scientific journals like the Smithsonian Institute Annual Report of 1944, Rife's work was later rejected by the American Medical Association, the American Cancer Society, and mainstream science. Nevertheless, Rife's supporters still believe that electromagnetic frequency shocks can destroy cancer cells and other disease-causing germs. However, most of these claims lack scientific support, and Rife machines have not been certified for treatment by any health authorities worldwide. Many promoters of Rife's technology have been convicted of health fraud and sentenced to prison, adding to the controversy and intrigue surrounding his legacy. The N machine, Bruce DePalma. Bruce DePalma, a maverick scientist who, in the 1970s, dared to challenge the fundamental laws of physics with his creation, the N machine, also known as the homopolar generator. DePalma believed that his device could generate energy far more efficiently than traditional methods by tapping into what he considered the untapped potential of spinning magnetic fields. The N machine was no ordinary generator. It was designed to operate on principles that some claimed violated the law of conservation of energy. According to DePalma, his device could produce 5 times more power than it consumed, offering the exciting possibility of endless clean energy. The core mechanism involved a spinning magnet that, according to DePalma's theories, harnessed energy directly from the space around it due to its unique magnetic field interactions. However, DePalma's groundbreaking ideas faced more than just academic skepticism. Reports suggest that there were concerted efforts from both governmental and industrial entities to suppress his work. The potential disruption to the existing energy markets posed by DePalma's invention may have led to significant pushback, including barriers to patenting the technology and challenges in obtaining funding for research. Which of these forbidden technologies do you find most exceptional? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.